Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Today I'm in a new location. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. Honestly, I am in. Hi, Richie, sorry, or Rich K, or Anyway, yeah. Hi, everybody who's joining. It's another lazy Saturdays, and today I'm wearing my lazy look. No, I'm joking, but honestly, I had to really, um, yeah, I had to really take up myself out of bed today. Hey, Dafna, מה שלומך? My sister is live. Dafna, את שומעת אותי טוב? You can hear me clearly? The wind is interrupting, or you can hear me clearly? So, today I'm going to talk about something that is very, I would say, hey, דפנוקי, את שומעת אותי כמו שצריך? Can you hear me clearly? Alright, perfect. מעולה. So, if you guys see any comments that are not in English, that's Hebrew. I'm Israeli, so obviously, some comments would be in Hebrew as well. So this Saturday, I'm going to talk about something that's a bit different and a bit more private to me, I would say. Obviously, if you guys are following me, you know already that I live in Jamaica. I'm not just traveling here. And to relocate to any country can be very challenging to some people. Overall, it's challenging to relocate to any country. I mean, because you have to adjust to a lot of new things, and obviously, all of your daily routine might even change depending on where you're relocating to. So today, I'm going to just share with you a bit about how relocating to Jamaica had changed my life in a very personal perspective. Obviously, everything that I would say here is relevant for me, but you can always get inspired and hear what I have to say and maybe consider to do it yourself. But I'm not here to, make you want to, persuade you to move to Jamaica or anything like that. It's definitely something that is individually, and it must be your own decision to relocate to anywhere around the world and to choose to live abroad of your own homeland or birthland country. So I'm originally from Israel, and I've relocated to Jamaica almost 4 years ago. Hopefully you can hear me clearly in these windy days. So it's, by the way, as you can see behind me, I'm at the glistening water. So the glistening water is an attraction that is here in Trelawny and Falmouth. They have several different bars and jerk spots on the glistening water. So right now during the day, there is not that many people. It's just 11 a.m. So obviously people will, come later on for lunch and stuff. But the vibe of the bar is really nice, and I will try to capture a bit later in my stories how the place looks. So they also do tours over here, obviously, of the glistening water, and you can do, those tours are only done at the night, so you can see the glisten in the water. But the lagoon behind me is one of the 4 or 6 lagoons from all over the world that has these creatures inside the water that makes the water glow when you make any movement inside the water. So that's really interesting, and I'm probably gonna do one episode showing you the beauty and the magic of this natural place. So going back to the point of today, so we were talking about, as I said, relocating is not for everybody. You make that decision based on your lifestyle and whatever you want to do, but I guess each one has different reason to relocate and to where to relocate. But it's different individually, so everything that I say is obviously my perspective and my points, and it's not necessarily something that would be the same for everybody. So I do believe that in a way, well, I definitely believe that in a way, moving to Jamaica had significantly changed my life, and I'm saying it for good because I feel like overall Jamaica has developed me personally a lot, and the fact that I chose this challenge to myself did put a lot of things in my life that I didn't necessarily knew how to handle before I actually moved to Jamaica. So I think that, you know, if you want a life changing experience, and if you have the ability and the time and you have the support of your friends or family, this is a really good experience, especially in your 20s, to just relocate to a different country with a culture that you are interested in. So maybe I'll close this button so you can hear me better. So yeah. So I definitely think it's something that it's definitely a good experience for whoever wants to try something new and you want to get challenged a bit and you know, like, definitely do something that it's really interesting and would make you learn a lot about yourself and how strong you are and the abilities that you have and how you're able to connect to new people and stuff like that. So I'm going to talk today about 10 different points or things that that had changed in my life personally, since I moved to Jamaica, and how overall Jamaica made me change my life in so many different ways. So obviously, if you know Israel compared to Jamaica, it's a completely different country, completely different culture. There are still similarities that I will probably discuss here in this episode, but also in the next episodes. But it's definitely different living from, you know, Israel, the Middle East, to the Caribbean, to an island. You know, from a country that is located in a continent to an island, there is a lot of difference. So I had to adjust to a lot of new things, but in some way I also think that there is a lot of similarities between the cultures. So I also, people might say when they meet me, a lot of people feel like I've been here for a really, really long time, because I think that there is something between the cultures that really resembles and made me get comfortable here pretty quickly, even sometimes more than other persons that choose to relocate from, I don't know, Europe or other countries, America, Canada, whatever. I feel like the the cultures does have some similarity, but yeah, we're going to talk about it, so I don't want to be spoilering you. So, going to start with the first thing that I definitely love about, you know, one of the changes that I definitely love about moving to Jamaica, which is eating healthy and living in a healthy lifestyle, and more significantly, stop smoking cigarettes. So before I moved to Jamaica, I used to smoke cigarettes, unfortunately. It was more of a social thing, as like everybody. I mean, whoever smokes cigarettes, don't lie to yourself. It's a social thing, nothing more than that, because you feel off after you do it. So I choose to do it when I was in Israel because everybody in Israel do it, and I started doing it because of the surrounding that I was in, and nobody really encouraged me to not do it. And everything, basically, you know, everything around like smoking cigarettes is social. And in Israel, it's very, very, very common. People are able to smoke almost anywhere, even though there are rules and stuff, but still, it doesn't really apply for, you know, people that really do it as a lifestyle, that they don't really care. Like, they just do it anywhere. And so in Israel, it's a habit. And as soon as I moved to Jamaica, I realized that I cannot continue with that lifestyle for several reasons. So I think that a lot of people don't realize it, and a lot of people think that because marijuana and ganja is very common here, people smoke regularly and stuff like that, but that's not the reality. There is a lot of people who don't take that as a part of their life at all, and even don't see it as a positive thing. There are also small minority communities that do it, or people that do it individually, but it's not common, and you won't see people doing it in the middle, like in public, like that. And I felt like every time that I pull a cigarette and try to smoke, I feel this, like, I don't know, people around me didn't really like the scent. especially after the scent that you get after and stuff like that. And I feel like, in a lot of places in Jamaica, it's definitely not a common thing. To smoke cigarette is something that people rarely do, and if they do it like really, rarely individually, because honestly, several stuff. First of all, Jamaican people really don't see it as a healthy thing, and as you might know, Jamaicans do have lots of natural medicine that they put into their daily life, and they take it as habits, or eating things that really help your body to get to a better immune system. It's part of the Jamaican food and the Jamaican dishes, and also fresh juices and stuff like that. So overall, the Jamaican diet, if you really stick to the local diet, it's really healthy. It's pretty healthy, and it's like in a level where people don't even drink coffee with caffeine on mornings. They would rather to drink herbal tea or anything like that, because honestly, that's what, the cultural wisdom that they grew up on, if it's their grandparents or whatever, and they stick to that, and honestly, it makes them healthy and strong. So I guess it's good, of course. So overall, smoking cigarettes in Jamaica is not something popular, and even more than that, it's very hard to get several instruments or whatever things that you need. If you're rolling tobacco or whatever, to get it here in Jamaica, you can get it, but it's a bit more of a struggle than other countries, because it's not common, it's not available anywhere, and that's completely fine. And I honestly love the fact that it's not available here. I do know a lot of people that moved to Jamaica and stopped smoking cigarettes because of that. And I feel like also the mindset and the life here is much more free. Like, you don't need to be, obviously it's individually and everybody is different, but the overall mindset in Jamaica is not stressful. And you're not being always stressed to look for the next moment or what's going to happen next and stuff like that. So I feel like people have much more freedom when it comes to their mindset, and they don't need that break throughout, like every 5 minutes to get something to get the break from the day or whatever, because it just exists everywhere. And honestly, I feel a lot of people that do want that break, they just go to like a nice cool spot. So many like that in Jamaica, like where I sit right now, for example, and they just chill, drink one beer or so, and chill. They don't need any more than that. It's enough to just be around the nature around you and having that atmosphere around you. So definitely one of the best things that I've done is start eating healthier as well. I think that in Jamaica, the foods that I get here, and the fruits especially, and the veggies are much more organic in a way, because the products are, obviously there are products that are brought to Jamaica, but the local farmers, they do use whatever, chemicals they need to preserve their goods and stuff, but it's not like what the same kind of vegetables or fruits that we get in other countries, for example, Israel. So if you would notice when you come to Jamaica, that a lot of the fruits and the veggies here are not huge like in the States. They're not huge like in America, in Israel. They're not huge like in Canada, for example, stuff like that, because they don't really put that much chemicals into the vegetables, and they just let them grow pretty much organic, pretty much, not 100%. And it's a common thing. So I mean, it's not something that it would be hard to find, like how in certain countries you have to look for the organic stuff. Most of the stuff that you would find in the market here would be pretty much organic, and I'm talking about not only veggies and fruits, also like chicken and stuff like that. It's all in a normal size, standard size. So you will definitely see it. That's one of the things that you can see as a significant difference between the two. The size of the veggies is much more regular and how it should be, and it's not, being influenced by any chemicals or anything like that. Other than that, also dairy products that I used to eat so regularly in Israel, and often too much. I eat way less over here from several reasons. First of all, it's much more, I would say it's less, it's more costly. Dairy products are more costly over here and less available. So some Some wholesale stores that are more local oriented would have less of these products or less variety of these products, but you can definitely find anything in the island. But yeah, I mean, it's not something that you can find here commonly, and also it's not that incorporated in the local dishes. So most of the dishes would be more meat and veggies, you know, and not really a mixture of dairy. Yes, there is a little bit of influence, you know, in the past years right now where they have cuisines influence from other countries and pizzas, pastas, and stuff like that. But I mean, it's not that common, and most of the diet that you know you would get here is less dairy, which is always better for your body, and there is also a lot of substitute. So if it's something that you are interested in, it's a good thing to remember when you're like even traveling here and you're shopping around. There is lots of substitute when it comes to like milks, and most of the milk that you would find is not cow milk, and cow milk is, you know, whatever cow milk product that they have here are actually grown in Jamaica. So also the way that they grow their cows and their cattle is completely different from how I know it and from the industrial way. So cows and cattle here grow in grass free, and they have much more space. They are not forced to produce milk like that, I would say. Yes, they have some factories here. There is one main one in St. Anne, but honestly, most of the way that the cattle is grown is much more free and relaxed than in other countries like Israel, where milk is a very important thing in almost every meal. Every dairy product is very important in every meal. So yeah, that's a huge difference. So I definitely noticed that within time I started eating much more healthier in Jamaica. I noticed it on my skin, on my body, and overall on my feeling, less heavy, less stomach aches and stuff like that. So I think that I'm not the only one that has that experience. I've been talking to other foreigners that moved here and have been saying the same stuff. So that's definitely one thing that I find common to a lot of people. We totally change our eating habits when we move into a different country, especially when it's so different, like a Caribbean country. So I definitely think it's a good change that I've done in my life, and I don't find myself missing anything like dairy food or anything like that. Honestly, I'm good with just having that in portions and stuff, but obviously it's your preference. Also another really important thing, I'm not a seafood eater. I probably said that so many times before. I don't really like fish or seafood. I don't eat that. But for people who do love, Jamaica is the perfect place for it, because yes, you can get stuff on the supermarket that are frozen and stuff, but most of what you would get here, especially in restaurants located next to the beach, is fresh products from the sea. So fishermen just fish every day, and they you know, they just get everything fresh from the sea. If it's fish, seafood, or whatever. So a good thing for seafood eaters, you're gonna get fresh seafood here, and a lot of people did tell me that it tastes completely different, so you should try it as well. So the second thing that definitely influenced me for the best is the fact that I feel like since I've moved to Jamaica, because of the distance, it's about 14 hours flight from Israel to Jamaica. Obviously much more if, you know, the whole journey is much more than that, but it's straight flight 14 hours. So yeah, so I feel like moving to Jamaica had really forced me in a way to be much more in contact and in a good close relationship to individually each one of my family members and also my friends. And I feel like also when I lived in Israel, of course I was, you know, in my 20s and stuff, I was doing my thing, I was close to my family, but I don't feel like it's the same as today. Even though physically I'm not close and COVID doesn't really allow us to visit that much often, but I was fortunate enough to, you know, visit my family not too long ago. But I definitely feel that because of the distance, I am really able to, like, you know, call my family, speak to each one of them individually, and get to know people on a different level, and also my family, because that's the only way that I can keep in touch with them, obviously, and that's the right way to keep in touch with your family. And I feel like I have been through a process by myself as well to be able to incorporate that in my daily life, because the time difference and stuff like that is completely different from country to country, so you have to make sure that you're calling your family in the right times and all of that. But fortunately I am able to do it, and I'm really happy for the fact that I was able to not only create good relationship, but also build new relationship and stronger relationship with my family members, and also with my friends, with my good friends. Yeah. So yeah, definitely find it as a fun thing and thing that I really enjoy and am proud of, the fact that the distance didn't really pull me apart from my family, and actually made me be closer to them and to my friends as well. So obviously it's not true for everybody, as I said, but I feel like when you relocate to a new country, you pretty much, if you want to keep in touch with your family, you're pretty much forced, in a good way, to communicate with them on a much different level, more than what you would do on a regular living in your country life. At least for me. So yeah, I definitely feel like it's a good thing, and I enjoyed it, and yeah, I love it. All right, the third thing that I want to discuss about is the fact that I feel like since moving to Jamaica, I've learned to love and accept my body much more than any other stage in my life. It might be related to the fact that I'm almost in my 30s, so obviously I'm growing and learning, and I hope to be in this age and be able to be acceptance and okay with who I am. So I feel like, yeah, I mean, living in Jamaica is different culture-wise as well, and being here is definitely a thing that's made me understand better and accept better my body. First of all, culture-wise in Jamaica, having a little bit of weight is nothing too bad when considering to other countries that call themselves first world countries. It's the thing that you shouldn't do. The aim is always to be very slim. The aim is not to be healthy. Maybe in the last few years is to be healthy, but most of what I grew up on is just to be slim. And if you're not slim, you're not attractive, you're not interesting, you shouldn't have no confidence and stuff like that. And that's a completely different story when you come to Jamaica. Obviously, I see around me so many strong and powerful and confident women that have their own shape and figure, which is different from what I have seen and grew up on in Israel. So I feel like I got inspired by the fact that women carry themselves in a much different way and with much more pride here. And I learned in a way to accept and love my body, because I saw that it's possible, and you shouldn't be ashamed of how you look. You shouldn't be ashamed of how big or small you are or whatever, yeah? However you look, it's how God created you, and that's completely fine. So it's definitely a cultural thing in Jamaica, and I feel like a lot of visitors also get to enjoy that as well, especially females that get lots of compliments here from the surrounding of how they look. Even if they themselves don't consider themselves as good looking, they will get those compliments here, because as I said in so many different episodes, Jamaicans really appreciate women, and they would compliment a woman, and that's it. I mean, it's a very genuine thing. It's not something that's been done to fake it or whatever. It's a genuine thing, and it's a cultural thing, and it's a good thing that women here grow with the fact that they can just be who they are and accept their body and grow to what they want to grow, and be confident about their self and their own body. So that's definitely a thing that I love about moving and living in Jamaica, is the fact that I don't need to be concerned about my look 24/7. And I think in a way where you don't think about it so consciously, subconsciously, it makes you do the change that you really want to do in your mind, because that's a completely different topic, weight and all of those things. And I'm not really a diet fan or whatever, but I feel like living a healthy lifestyle is much more important than gaining or losing weight. So I feel like that's the main thing that you should be aiming for in your life, and not necessarily to look in a certain way. So next thing that I I really love, and I actually recently get to enjoy it more and actually get to experience it more is the fact that I feel like I've been conquering my fears in Jamaica in a level that I couldn't do it in Israel. So you know how when you live in your own native country, you do travel in the country, but you don't really do it that often. I know a lot of Jamaicans that live here and haven't been in half of the places that I've been, probably, you know. So when I lived in Israel, I didn't really travel around that much. I did, you know, whatever, but not that much. I'm a nature person, but I'm also very afraid of heights. I'm afraid of insects. I'm kind of like a girly girl, so I don't really like, yeah, let's go and camp, you know. I'm not that type of girl, but I definitely love and enjoy being in the nature. So I do end up myself, like finding myself in these places. And obviously now with my new YouTube channel, Why Jamaica, that you should definitely check out, subscribe, leave a comment, like, click the bell, whatever, yeah. It's on my bio. So with my new channel right now, the fact that I'm going and exploring different places in Jamaica, it's definitely something that had built so much confidence in myself, and I feel like I've conquered so many fears. It might seem stupid to other persons if you're not afraid of heights, if you're not afraid of insects and all of these things. It might seem like, what is she even talking about? But I guess it's very individually, as I said in the beginning of this video. So I feel like if I haven't been here and if I haven't chose to do what I'm doing and really explore Jamaica, I probably wouldn't be able to get to this level of conquering my fears and being able to like hike around and hiking in nature and going to places that I haven't been before and climbing and, you know, all of those things that honestly you get to experience in Jamaica very easily, because you really just want to reach to those places. And most of the beautiful paradise looking places always have this hike trail before, and that hike trail is sometimes not that, you know, paved or whatever, so you do have to be a bit more, you know, adventurous. So I definitely feel like, yeah, bottom line, I've been much more adventurous when it comes to like traveling and stuff like that. I am a person that's love comfort, so I won't deny and say that I love comfort as well, but I feel like it builds a lot of me when I'm able to conquer something and say I did it and I climbed this or I went down this hill or whatever, you know. It's a lot to me personally. Water break. By the way, big up everybody that's here. Big up everybody that's here, and thank you so much for watching. Moving on to the next fifth thing that I wanted to say that definitely had changed since I moved to Jamaica. So I feel like it's a very sensitive and a bit of a touchy topic, I would say. But the fact that I am coming from a different lifestyle and the life that I've had in Israel compared to the life that I've had here, it's like going back to point zero. So when I relocated to Jamaica, I have made my plans and everything, but in the end of the day, life has their own plan. And a lot of the times you have to adjust to different things and you have to grow with the process. And it's not necessarily, well, most of the time, not everything is given to you necessarily upon the, you know, as you just move, oh, you get everything, you know. You have to achieve certain things in life, especially if you choose to move to a foreign country that is completely different from wherever you used to live. So for me, I felt like in many ways I changed my lifestyle or my life habits, or, you know, certain things that I got used to and I was really comfortable with. I might not have done them that often, or just the fact that I saw other people that have a completely different lifestyle here, and they're not, and they were not even able to do those things. So bottom line, what I'm trying to say is that moving to Jamaica and be like visiting around, you know, places like garrisons and ghetto, or however you want to call them, but, you know, just communities that have a different lifestyle and their socio-economical stage is different than mine, made me realize and understand really how fortunate I am, in a way that I was able to get other opportunities. I'm not talking about vanities, but just opportunities of education and other things that other persons just because of the family they were born to are not necessarily able to. And it made me feel very appreciative, but also in a way really wanting to give back to the community. So when I was, when I was able, right now things are very different. When I was able, I was definitely trying to do my best to create either gatherings of people that have common areas such as music and stuff, to be able to create more opportunities just by being in those gatherings, but also to create charity events and stuff like that. And I will definitely continue on doing those, and I have some really great ideas that I would want to incorporate and actually do here in Jamaica, because I feel like the main thing about living in a lower socioeconomical living or lifestyle is the fact that you don't get the same opportunities as other person, and that's just unfair, and I hate unfairness. I don't think that you need an iPhone, a TV, a laptop, all of those things, and that's the only way how you're gonna get happy in life or whatever. That's not the case. I just think that if people don't have education, or their mindset is like, can be much more open, they would be developed much more and be able to do many more things in life. And these things are not being exposed to the people who actually need it. So, we are here to make the change if we can, if we are able. So definitely one of the things that made me feel good and change in my life is to be really appreciated and grateful for what I have, and also to give back to people when I can. And when I'm able, mentally as well, because it is a lot. So next thing that I wanted to talk about is, and I did mention it, and basically it has something in common in all of my points. It has something in common, is the fact that I think living in Jamaica is really living in a different and complete mindset, and I call it a freedom mindset. It might not be the right way, to represent all of it, because everything in life is complex and it's not just one thing. But living in Jamaica for me had made me realize that I don't have to be stressed all of the time. It's a process, and I feel like over in life people get stressed very easily from things that doesn't necessarily supposed to be that significant, but we find them significant because the society, because what we expect from ourselves, because we're most of the time too harsh with ourselves, and that's not how I wanted to live. And one of the main reasons why I chose to live here is because every visit that I had in Jamaica prior to making the decision to move here was really an eye-opening, and like, I don't have to be stressed. Like, you can achieve things in life, you can progress in life, you can reach your goals and get everything in life without being that stressed, without feeling like every morning you will wake up and you open your eyes and, you just think about, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. I'm so, I'm not doing things in the pace that it's supposed to, and all of those things. So I feel like in a way, and obviously it's a journey and people learn, and I'm still learning. I'm not perfect. I have a lot to learn. And these are things that I'm trying to implement in my life on a regular basis. But I definitely think that, what's more important than peace of mind. And if you don't have a peace of mind, honestly, you cannot be creative, you cannot achieve your goals, you cannot think in a free way that would encourage your mind to think about new solutions, different ways to do different things and stuff like that. So it's definitely something that I appreciate and love, in the fact that I'm much more able here to be free. And in my mindset, to be free is just to not be stressed 24/7. I have my work, I have all of the regular things that you guys probably do in your own countries, or if you are here, then you know what I'm talking about. It's not like we're living in some la la land, It's just the fact that, honestly, the mindset here is different, and people are much comfortable in taking the time and not rushing things, which is a very common thing if you live in first world countries. The fact that you're always being rushed to the next moment, there is no appreciation of the present and stuff like that. So one thing that I really, really love is that. So guys, we're getting close to the end. All right, so the one thing that this is a thing that I really, really love. The fact that Jamaica obviously is full with music So the 7th point of how Jamaica changed my life is the fact that I am always around music and creative people. I'm always around doing new things like initiatives and stuff like that. So the thing in Jamaica is that there is a lot of development, and there is a lot of new, great, creative, young people that create different ideas, different gatherings, different events, or whatever. And I feel like really every year I get to see so much progress in what's happening overall in Jamaica, but specifically in the music field and also in overall in the creative field in Jamaica. Art in Jamaica is a very big thing. So I'm really happy to just be around people that are creative and be around people that really have just that lifestyle of allow their brain to bloom and create new ideas, create new things and new ways how to, bring music and art to people's life and improve their life in a way. Because when you are around things that make you feel good, your life automatically gets better. And when you do things that you like, you feel like your life is better, and it's true, your life do get better. So I feel like just being around musical people and also around creative people had really changed my lifestyle in a way that it opened a lot of new ideas in my head, and it definitely made me feel much more connected to myself and also much more okay and just being fine with being crazy with my ideas and think creatively, think ahead, think about new things that nobody have done before and stuff like that. So yeah, it's one of the things that I really love. And obviously you guys know I love music, so just being around music most of the time, like in Jamaica you can find music anywhere. Obviously during COVID right now it's much more challenging, but it's still possible. So just the fact that I'm able to be hearing the music that I really, really love around me all of the time, it's really fun and nice. So that's one of the things that I really, really love. So 8th point, now we're talking about something that again I mentioned, but I just want to focus on that specifically. The fact that in Jamaica there is no rush, as I said, and people know how to enjoy the present moment. They know how to take a second and really lay back and relax and understand that this is life. Life is not about rushing from place to place. Life is also about progressing and doing and achieving things, yes, but life, in essence of life, is really to enjoy every moment. If you are not able to let go of the stress and just sit down and relax, then you are missing out in life. And I'm sure that if you are in that point, you probably know what I'm talking about. And it's not any hard thing to do. I just think it's hard to do when the society around you deal with the whole concept of life in a very different way. So I feel like, in a way, Jamaicans really mastered how to enjoy and be present in every moment, celebrate every moment. If you've ever been in parties in Jamaica, that's the perfect example. And honestly, this is really what made my life here much more peaceful and nice. The fact that I'm able to be present in every moment. I don't need to be rushing and always being in some chasing after something. But I'm still able to progress and enjoy every moment and enjoy my life journey. Oh, big up Baga Art. I'm calling him Baga Arts, but I'm not sure if that's the right way to say it, from Sav. Check out his painting and his Instagram. It's really, really, really cool and authentic and genuine Jamaican style. So, one point, the 9th point from my 10 points of this day of how Jamaica changed my life, and that's specifically related to people who's coming from Israel. So, if you guys know, obviously, Israel in the Middle East is a very hot area. We do have wars or bombs attacks or whatever, a terrorist attack every year or a year and a half or something like that. And it's hard. It doesn't influence anybody like how it influenced me, but I personally hated it. I hated the fact that I am always like, again, I'm saying it from my personal perspective, the government always just try to scare you and putting it in your head that there is war, somebody is going to kill you, blah blah blah, whatever. And yeah, I mean, it's just so different here because you know nobody's chasing you. Jamaica is an island, so obviously it's funny. Like I've heard one of the things that really made me laugh is that I was talking to some elder in Jamaica, and he was telling me Jamaica is the perfect place to watch World War III because like nowhere, in no point of time, there is no, like there never have been no country that really threatened Jamaica or try to, you know, after independence. Obviously I'm not talking about all of the fact that English and Spanish destroyed this country, but whatever. After independence there was no country that really was trying to attack Jamaica or anything like that. So the fact that you're able to live without being practiced when you're from kindergarten how to run to a shelter or how to hide yourself when you're on the street and there is a bomb on top of your head, then yeah, it's a really much more stress-free lifestyle. And I feel like a lot of Israelis are just used to it and they're okay with living like that. Me personally, I don't really like it. I think it's very life-changing when you move to a country that doesn't have that type of threat and you're just able to be who you are. And also, like with that, with saying that as well, the fact that I'm Jewish, a lot of places in the world, unfortunately, are still anti-Semitic, and Jamaica is one of those places that they just are fascinated. When I say that I'm Jewish, people are just fascinated by that, and they're interested to know more about my country, to visit my country and stuff like that. So it's one of those places that I really have never, ever, ever felt any bit of anti-Semitic feelings or response towards the fact that I am Jewish. And I'm walking here proud and saying it to people, and everybody around me know it. And yeah, I mean, this is one of those places in the world where you can feel free to be who you are, and if you are Jewish, is a very safe place to be in, honestly, because nobody here have any bad intention towards other races. There is a lot of classism and stuff like that in Jamaica. But yeah, overall, being Jewish here is really not something that you should feel uncomfortable with compared to other places and other friends that I know that live in Europe and still have to be wearing certain jewelries that have, you know, Jewish symbols or whatever very secretly just because they don't want people around them to know and stuff like that. So it's a significant thing. It doesn't touch everybody, of course. I'm Jewish and not everybody is Jewish, but it is significant for people like me who's coming from this type of background. All right, last point for today. And it's definitely something that I am fortunate to have for the rest of my life because I do see my life here, but I know that Jamaica, even if I would move out of Jamaica at one point, this would always be my home and I would always have a home here. So in Jamaica, I feel like people let themselves be much more strong and confident and are really feeling comfortable with themselves when they are acting strong and confidently around people. And I think that especially women in this world are treated or being forced to act in a way that is doesn't necessarily show who they are really. They don't necessarily feel proud to walk and behave in a certain way, to carry themselves in a certain way. So I really think that, you know, it's a fact that you have to be grateful for, to be around people that really inspires you on a daily level, and to be around people that really choose to just be who they are without no apologizing and without pretty up anything. Just be who they are. If they're expressive, they're going to be expressive. If they are life lovers and they love to dance and have fun and celebrate, that's what they're going to do. And they're not here to judge nobody. They're not here to stand and watch each other. They're just here to live their life how they believe, and live their life in a way that really just let themselves enjoy every moment and not being like always reviewed and judged by themselves or by the surrounding. So the last thing is basically the fact that I'm always around strong people. I feel like I'm always around people that have this strong mentality of being able to conquer their own fears, being able to do and achieve their own things in life, and being able to do it in a way that they really feel confident and okay and peaceful and complete with themselves. So one of those things that I really appreciate and I really admire in Jamaica is the fact that people are free and basically enforced also to be like that, because in Jamaica you have to be strong, you have to be like out there, you have to be outspoken in a way, because otherwise that is just the mentality and the culture here. And in some way I would say that if you do want to be noticeable, if you want to be, you know, if you want to get to know even new people or get to know new friends or whatever, you have to put yourself out there, you have to be friendly, you have to learn how to be outspoken and confident of yourself, no matter what you know, things you think about yourself, and you can still be confident even if you think that you have things that you need to improve in yourself. So that's like the bottom line. So because obviously nobody is perfect, and Jamaica are able to master the fact that they are not perfect, but they still act in confidence like they are the best in the world, you know. So that's definitely a Jamaican thing. So I just want to end this live again telling you guys thank you again for everybody who's watching. Big up everybody that were watching today, and you're always welcome to go into my bio and watch my links for the YouTube channel and see my videos that I've released. Having some technical issues, but we're going to release a video really soon, a very interesting one as well. New places that I've visited a lot of times, but I got to see them on a different perspective. So I definitely recommend you to check my links on my bio. It has a written blog and also the YouTube channel and everything. Thank you again for watching, and I see you next Saturday, 11 a.m. with a new interesting topic about Jamaica. Bye guys.